What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Today we are looking at the NECA Toys Ace Ventura retro doll figure. And this is one of my favorite movies of all time. It was one of my favorite movies as a kid. I feel like it influenced my humor so much. And that's questionable because this is not a kid's movie, but I turned out okay. Nevertheless, we're going to look at this head here and we're going to repaint all three heads that come with this figure. I think the skin tone is fine, it matches the body well, and even the little beard tone is fine, but I think the eyebrows and the eyes are a little questionable. They're a little kind of slapped on there, really flat, hard-edged, and what we kind of want to do is just give it a little more life here, and these expressions are really cool. So I'm hoping that when we repaint it, we'll find that Jim Carrey sculpt under there and just have some fun with it. And before we move on with the figure, just wanted to let you guys know I have finally all 80 plus designs of t-shirts available on my TeePublic, as well as my art prints and original artwork available for sale on my personal site. So feel free to browse after the video. I think you might like at least one design, as I have many cool pop culture designs up on there. So let's move on with the figure here. I stripped the paint off of the sculpts, all three, so we can really get a sense of what the artist's original intention was for the sculpt. And we see that it has a translucent flesh tone already, which is going to help us a lot. We're going to reestablish a new flesh tone and match it to his body so it doesn't look awkward, and we're just going to build it up from there pretty much. So what I like to do is to get the flat tone in there, do a little bit of like rosiness around the cheeks and the nose, and establish the white of the eyes just to see if we're going in the right direction. And so far, I think this sculpt that I'm showing here is probably the best likeness to Jim Carrey. And then last, we have this really cool sculpt when he's mocking them, when he laughs at them in the police precinct. And here we have the final here. And like I said before, I think this is definitely the sculpt that captures Jim Carrey the most. And I believe there's two different sculptors that worked on these three heads, so I think that's probably why there's a little bit of an inconsistency between the three heads. I feel like this one is definitely Jim Carrey, those cheekbones, the crease of the mouth here. So that's the one I'm going to keep on the figure in my personal display. Then we have this one here, which I think is also very much Jim Carrey. They all have that likeness, but I think the one on the right is maybe the weakest of the bunch. There's something there, even when there wasn't much paint on the figure, when it was completely stripped, actually, you couldn't really see the strong Jim Carrey likeness on the one on the right. The left is definitely him when he's mocking them in the police station, and here's a closer look at that guy, and let's look at the right one here. And, I just tried to give a little more life and bring the fading in between tones a little better. Definitely wanted to get rid of those old eyebrows that were on the original figure and kind of the eyeliner look that they gave all three heads. And I think that takes away the realism of the eyes of an actor when translated to a sculpt of an action figure. And like I said at the beginning of the video, this is one of my favorite movies of all time, so I'm definitely excited for the next figure coming out that NECA's releasing in June of 2020. And the sculpt on that guy looks great because I believe they got Trevor Grove to do the sculpt for the second version of the figures. And forgive me for the sirens in the background. I feel like every time I do a YouTube video, there is a siren going on. But if you guys really want to see the process of how I paint things, I did a Bob Ross full process video of how I do the base tone with airbrush and the eyes. Just a little snippet of what a process looks like when repainting one of these heads at this scale. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Definitely stay safe out there while we're in quarantine. Hopefully it's coming to an end soon. And until next time, you guys take care, and I will see you later.